Look at me.
Yeah.
What I appreciate about it is
On New Year's Day, a moment of quiet honesty from Curtis 50 Cent Jackson offered fans something they were not expecting: vulnerability. Appearing in a candid interview, the rapper, actor, and entrepreneur opened up about a deeply personal health journey that he had kept largely private. Calm, reflective, and measured in his words, he confirmed that he had been facing colon cancer over the past year. Rather than dramatize the experience, he spoke with gratitude, emphasizing resilience, early detection, and the support of family. For an artist long associated with toughness and survival, the conversation revealed a different kind of strength, one rooted in self-awareness and humility. Addressing the concern, speculation had followed him for months, especially after a video surfaced showing him noticeably slimmer. Fans expressed concern, wondering if something was wrong. In the interview, he clarified that while he had indeed lost weight, it was not directly caused by cancer. A separate health issue had temporarily affected his appetite and energy, leading to visible changes. He reassured viewers that he was recovering steadily and working closely with his medical team. His tone was calm and grounded, signaling not denial but acceptance of what his body had endured and what it still required. A private battle, Curtis explained that he was diagnosed after routine medical screenings revealed irregularities, allowing doctors to intervene early. Surgery and follow-up treatment became part of his life behind the scenes, even as he continued working selectively. He chose privacy not out of fear, but out of a desire to process the experience on his own terms. The decision reflected maturity, an understanding that not every battle needs to be fought publicly, especially when healing requires stillness rather than performance. Redefining strength. For much of his career, 50 Cent embodied a hardened image shaped by survival, ambition, and defiance. Yet this chapter required a different definition of strength. He spoke about listening to his body, slowing down, and reassessing priorities. There was no bravado in his voice, only clarity. He acknowledged that resilience is not just about pushing forward, but about knowing when to pause. That message resonated with fans who had long admired his grit, now seeing growth alongside it. Family as the center. Throughout the conversation, he returned repeatedly to family. Being a father, he said, gave him perspective during treatment and recovery. His children became daily reminders of why taking care of himself mattered. Fame, wealth, and legacy all took a back seat to presence. The shift was subtle but profound, an acknowledgement that success means little if you are not healthy enough to enjoy it or share it with those who matter most. Early life and loss. To understand Curtis Jackson's journey, it helps to look back at where it began. He grew up in South Jamaica, Queens, raised by a young mother navigating a harsh environment. Her death during his childhood left a wound that shaped his worldview early on. Responsibility came too soon, and survival became a daily focus. These formative years instilled both resilience and emotional armor, tools that helped him endure but also made vulnerability difficult later in life. Finding an outlet, music became an escape, a way to translate pain into something meaningful. Hip-hop offered structure where life had not, giving him a voice and a sense of purpose. As his talent developed, so did his determination to leave behind the limitations of his environment. Creativity became not just expression, but survival, allowing him to imagine a future beyond the circumstances he was born into. A defining turning point. A violent incident early in his career nearly ended that future before it fully began. Recovery was long and difficult, forcing him to confront mortality at a young age. The experience hardened his resolve but also deepened his emotional distance from others. He survived, but the cost was high. Trust became scarce and self-reliance became absolute. Those traits fueled success but complicated personal relationships. Reinvention through music. Against all odds, he returned with renewed focus. His breakthrough album transformed him from an underground artist into a global star almost overnight. The music resonated because it was honest, raw reflections of survival, ambition, and grit. Audiences connected not just to the sound, but to the story behind it. He became a symbol of perseverance, proof that reinvention was possible even after profound setbacks. Expanding the vision. Success in music opened doors beyond the studio. Curtis transitioned into acting and producing, building a second career that surprised many critics. Television projects showcased his ability to tell complex stories, particularly those exploring power, loyalty, and consequence. These ventures demonstrated that his vision extended beyond performance. He was shaping narratives, not just starring in them. The cost of constant armor. Yet, even as his professional life flourished, personal peace remained elusive. Years of conflict, competition, and guardedness took their toll. The persona that protected him also isolated him. He rarely allowed space for reflection, instead moving from one challenge to the next. Over time, unresolved stress and emotional fatigue accumulated quietly, showing up not in headlines but in health. A wake-up call. The cancer diagnosis became an inflection point, not just medically but emotionally. It forced him to slow down and confront realities he could no longer outrun. He spoke openly about how the experience changed his outlook, making him more attentive to his body and more patient with himself. The urgency to prove toughness faded, replaced by a desire for balance. Support from the community. Public response to his disclosure was overwhelmingly supportive. Fans, fellow artists, and colleagues expressed admiration for his honesty. Many shared their own stories, creating a collective moment of connection. The outpouring reminded him that strength does not diminish when shared, it multiplies. The experience reinforced the idea that vulnerability can inspire rather than weaken. Advocacy and awareness. Curtis used the moment to encourage preventive care, emphasizing the importance of routine screenings. He spoke not as an expert, but as someone who benefited directly from early detection. The message was simple and sincere. Paying attention to your health can save your life. Coming from someone known for defying odds, the advice carried weight. Looking ahead. As he continues recovery, he plans to return to work gradually, choosing projects that align with his current values. Music may return, possibly shaped by reflection rather than aggression. His ambitions remain, but they are no longer driven by urgency alone. There is space now for intention, rest, and presence, things he once viewed as luxuries, now recognized as necessities. A broader legacy. 50 Cent's story has always been about survival, but survival alone is not the endpoint. Growth, healing, and connection define the next chapter. His journey illustrates that resilience evolves, that the strength required to endure is different from the strength required to heal. Both matter, but the latter often goes uncelebrated. Conclusion. Curtis James Jackson III has faced adversity in many forms: loss, violence, pressure, and now illness. Each chapter has shaped him, but none define him entirely. This moment of honesty did not diminish his legacy, it expanded it. By choosing reflection over performance and health over image, he demonstrated that real power lies not just in endurance, but in self-care and truth. His story continues, no longer driven solely by survival, but by intention, balance, and the quiet courage to change.